Hello and welcome to Lesson Learned, a conversation about Mythcraft.
Oh my
Oh, I
god.
am Corey Griffin. No, I'm also messing up the intro. One of these days we'll get it.
I was so used to us having the starter screen, I didn't know I'm so forgot we even didn't need it anymore.
Yeah, I did have everything kind of prepped
No,
really, really
that is
fast.
on me. All right. I am Kobe Randolph. Sorry about that fun introduction.
Right. All right. And like I said, I am Corey Griffin, and today we're going to be talking about um, golems in Mythcraft.
Yep, my first max level character was a golem, so they have a special place in my heart.
I remember running that character. It was quite a bit of fun.
Oh yeah, it was. I bet you had a blast.
It was like I said, it was quite fun. Um, but with that being said, uh, like you said, golems are so much fun. But let's go ahead and get into the traits and stuff. Or there's some like things that I want to talk about, right? Like so, with rare exceptions, most casters, most trees of magic have a way of producing a golem, whether that's the arcane source, the divine source, or I think the occult also has one. Not 100% sure on that. Please don't quote me. I know the arcane has one. And I'm 90% sure the divine has one. Um, and like something you got to think about when you make a golem is like, what is the like bond between you and your creator? Is your creator gone? Is your creator your best friend? Do you absolutely hate your creator because you did not choose life?
Yeah,
It's
no, it's such a it can add a lot of fun to character concepts. I think golems are just out of the box. They have a lot of really fun flavor, just kind of baked into building them.
and like I said, most people when they make a golem, you can make one. That's it.
Yep.
And like I find that so fascinating. And maybe it's because and eventually we'll talk about some other magic. I may have went on this rant a little bit when I did the undead lineage. Um, I absolutely adore the fact that you could potentially make another player character with a different player character. I love that possible interaction and everything. It's
I actually have that going on in one of my campaigns. We have a start at level 2, and the reason the witch is level 2 is because it took all of their magic to make the golem. Because we did a cult. I don't know if I can remember for sure if there was. I'm pretty sure a cult is one of them too. I kind of just let it go. I was like, yeah, you want to be a witch and you use their power, so that's why they're level 2. They a brand new golem, and a witch you just used all their power to make this one, and it has been a very fun dynamic so far.
yeah, no, I really do. Like I said, I love that. But let's get into some golem traits, shall we? So golems normally stand somewhere between 5'2" and 8 feet tall. That's one hell of a range. But then I think about like statues are hella ranged in size as well, so it kind of makes sense, you know. Um, their weight is anywhere from 100 pounds to 600 pounds, depending largely upon like what physical materials they're made of, right?
Hmm.
We'll get into it, but like the most common player character golems, you're gonna see plant matter, clay, or bone. Okay. Um, and then their size, even though they're hella big and could be hella heavy, they are still a medium size. All right. Our base speed is 20 feet. The appearance is, like I said, they're typically going to be made of like plant matter, clay, bones, like maybe some like stone to offer like additional support and or protection as you need. Golems normally have like a humanoid figure to them, so like arms, legs, head. Though sometimes they might have additional arms or legs.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Their lifespan are they are born with the sentience of a human child and learn rapidly. After about a year, they have a year of being sentient. They are capable of reasoning akin to a human adult of the same intelligence score. Thus far, no golems are known to have died naturally, which
I mean,
is that's some wild stuff right there.
you guys in Tales of Yavard have run into Shipbreaker, and no one's really engaged with him. But yeah,
I bet he got some stories to tell. Les probably should have a conversation with him about some of his old stories with that name.
yeah, yeah.
When there's some downtime and we're not, fighting for our lives, trying to break out of prison, or
Hey, I gave you guys a bunch of downtime between arcs. You guys chose to do nothing with it.
that's very valid. That is very valid.
All right. Um, Now, at level 1, when you make a golem, you gain the following abilities. So you get to choose what material your primary made out of and what your life source is. We'll get into that more as we go through them. But the one feature that all golems have is magically constructed nature. You do not need to eat, but you must drink, breathe, and sleep like any other creature. You might speak with your Mythcrafter about what specifically you need to drink. Maybe it's like olive oil, or to go like some kind of crazy. You could go like low viscosity lava. Though I I would be hesitant to be like, yes, you need to drink lava, because then someone's gonna try and like
Spit it out.
well, they're gonna try and spit it out, or they're gonna try and get like resist fire. Right.
Oh yeah.
Right. Like I know you players, I know you. So I would normally try and choose like some. If you want to go with like a crazy thing you need to drink and not get macabre about it, seawater is great.
Mm. Yeah, that's funny you say macabre because my in my party with the witch and the golem, his thing he drinks is mud infused with her blood.
I did say without going macabre about it.
Yeah, we went a little different with the witch over here.
Yeah, no,
But
I good.
I was gonna say, so we don't go too much on a tangent, because I could easily do so. Bringing us to our materials, you can choose which ones are made from. So yeah, after you choose a one material and one life source when you first start a golem. The first material being bone, the feature being vestigial life. Your body recalled that it once lived as some kind of mortal. When you receive magical healing from another creature, you gain an additional 2 HP.
I
Low
mean,
level 1, if you're playing a level 1 character, this is so helpful when healing is so low and hard to get. And even just later on, extra health is always
yeah. I mean, I'm thinking of something like keep standing, which gives you 1 HP. You're literally tripling its effectiveness.
yeah.
So like, and I get it. Keep standing is like a divine thing. But anyway, I'm getting a little sidetracked. Any magical healing from another creature, so you don't want to be the one healing yourself. You want someone else to heal you, but you gain additional HP, which I love. The next one that we come to is clay, which the feature that we get is oozing movement. And the once per rest, you may cause your body to melt into an oozing substance that is like the consistency of putty. This allows you to squeeze through areas as small as 1 foot wide. When you use
Who
this feature,
doesn't want to be Clayface?
right? This feature costs 2 AP to activate and lasts for a number of rounds equal to your endurance +1. When using this feature, you cannot make attacks or interact with objects. Your health and defenses are unaffected, and you may end this form early if you wish, costing no AP. If this ability ends while you are still transformed, you immediately remove or reform in the nearest unoccupied space and take 1d10 blunt damage.
That's a really funny visual, too.
I'm thinking like going through a crack, right? Like just like this small little like hole in the wall, and then all of a sudden, boom, baby, you're all the way on the other side.
Shot through it.
Like a freaking cannon, you're shot through.
Oh my god. Yeah, my head instantly goes to Clayface when I think of this feature. Just I don't know why. Just. And then our last material we choose from is plant matter, and minor photosynthesis is the feature you gain. When you recoup in non-magical sunlight, you may gain shield HP equal to your endurance.
I mean, it's just strong, right?
It's strong.
Honestly, most we'll get into this later. Ooh, wheel that back. So, of the life sources, you get to choose whether your creator used arcane, divine, occult, primal, or psionic magic to awaken the essence that you call life. All right. So, at level 1, we also get to choose a feature based on what we were made out of. So, the first one is arcane, which fundamental magic courses through you. You learn 2 cantrips from the arcane source of magic. Use your magic attribute. If you do not have one, use endurance.
We've talked about it, I think, a few times. Free magic is good.
I'm gonna be honest with you. Lend power
is so strong.
Right? Like I don't need it. Maybe I take an offensive like rain and it, nope, walk it back.
I divine, once per rest, you connect to divinity, manifesting in the ability to heal. By spending 2 AP, you may restore HP equal to 1d6 plus your endurance to yourself or a creature that you touch. Free heals.
I mean, 2 AP heals once per rest. I'm not gonna complain about it. Right.
This is I also am about to talk about build stuff. It's just so good.
Right. Now to keep going, we've got the occult. You are made through strange and esoteric means. You learn 1 ritual of your choice from the occult source that has no prerequisite. You use your magic attribute if you have one. If not, you use endurance.
Magic.
Rituals.
The rituals and occult. When we get to that, I love. We can't wait till we can talk about occult magic in general and have that episode because I love. We might do an episode about rituals in Turthful. They're so strong in occult.
I would agree with you. I do play an occult caster that has some good rituals.
I love it. Bring us to primal. The generative power of the Everwild swells from within. Learn 2 chants from the primal source of magic. Use your magic attribute. If you do not have one, use endurance.
Again, we can talk about builds and what spells we'll take about sources later. The last one that we have is psionic, and that is choose one manifestation from the psionic source. You can cast that manifestation at will. Use your magic attribute if you have one. If you do not, use endurance. Again, just strong. Like,
hmm
we'll get into it, but
And then
yeah.
this is one of the classes that you get. Obviously, it's kind of a little front heavy loaded with all the stuff you get. So you don't have you make your life choice, your matter choice, and that is your level 1. And then we start getting other features when we get to level 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, and 29. Our first one being, oh yeah, be prepared for golems. There's a lot of requirements, so we're gonna have to say it a lot in this one. I'm gonna mess up my words a little bit more, and I apologize if I do so. But starting off is Arcane Explosion, which had the prerequisite of being the life source of Arcane. You learn one spell of your choice from the Arcane source that costs 4 or fewer SP. Use your magic attribute. If you do not have one, use Endurance. You may cast the spell once a rest.
There's a lot of good ones in there for that. The next thing that we have is bludgeon, and bludgeon is incompatible with razor. Your dominant hand grows in size and strength and can be used as a weapon with the stats of a club.
Hmm. Uh, yeah, it's so fun. Big old boofy hand. Next one comes our Dark Power with the life source of Occult. You learn one chant or spell from the Occult source that costs 5 or fewer SP. This selection must have the Dark Power tag. Use your magic attribute. If you do not have one, use Endurance. If you choose a spell, you may cast this spell once a rest.
After that, we have divine glimmer. With the requirement of the life source divine, you learn one divine spell of your choice costing 5 or fewer SP. Use your magic attribute if you have one. If not, use endurance. You may cast the spell once per rest.
Oh, wow. Next one, we have Essence Alteration, which is a prerequisite of the life source being psionic. You may learn a second spell from psionic source with the manifestation tag. Each time you take a rest, you may choose which manifestation you have active for the day. You cannot have both active. Endurance is your magic attribute for these spells.
Up next, we have Frenzy of Life, which does have the Vestige of Life for prerequisite, which means you have to be made of bone. And it just states that after receiving magical healing from another creature, you also deal +2 damage on your next hit.
Mamma mia.
I mean, just like rocket.
Literally. Hardened form. While you are not wearing armor, your AR and physical defenses increase by +2.
Yeah. Up next, we have Invocation, which has a requirement of Life Source Primal. You learn one invocation of your choice from the primal source that has no prerequisite. Use your magic attribute if you have one. If you do not have one, use Endurance. You may cast the spell once per rest.
Our next one after that is major photosynthesis with the prerequisite of minor photosynthesis. When using your photosynthesis ability, at half your character level to the amount of shield HP you regain.
So after that, we have Multimatter. No requirements on this one. And you gain one of the following features that you did not choose at level 1. Minor photosynthesis, oozing movement, or vestigial life. Vestigial life.
After that, we have Razor, which is incompatible with the bludgeon. Your dominant hand grows spines or a bladed edge and can be used as a weapon with the stats of a scimitar.
After that, we have Iron Lungs. You no longer need to breathe.
And then Rock Hard Reinforcement. while you are not wearing armor, gain resist physical 3 when attacks target your reflex or fortitude.
After that, we have hygroscopic. You no longer need to drink.
And then Silent Sentinel. You no longer sleep in the traditional sense, but instead remain completely motionless for 6 hours in order to rejuvenate yourself. During this time, you are unconscious, but you retain visual and auditory awareness of your surroundings.
And after that, the final one that we have today is going to be transmutable clay, which you have to have the oozing movement talent, and you regain all expended uses of your oozing movement when you recoup.
Beautiful, beautiful thing indeed.
I mean, being able to do more things at one time is just beneficial. No matter how you look at it, it's going to be better to be able to do whatever you want more. Right? So, we got some time to talk about some builds.
Yeah. I would love to start with Lenny.
God, I haven't thought about Lenny in so long.
Lenny's my level 30 Mythcraft character. It's actually, I think, the second time I ever played for Spaz. He ran a level 30 one shot, and I built Lenny Stone and Bone. He is a golem made of bones from the arcane source, if I remember correctly. Yeah, he was a bone from the arcane source because he was made by a magic wizard for the magic town and was grown by them. And he took later on he went down the line of arcane explosion. He did, I think it was arcane explosion, and then I did multimatter to gain no, it was um arcane explosion into frenzy of life,
Yeah.
which sadly never came up because we didn't have a healer in the party. Frenzy of life to then I think I had um dark power, but that never actually came up either because it didn't just there was it was first situation never popped up. But pretty much he was a golem who I took the magic ones, and he was all about hitting hard with having free magic, and he was really fun. I mean, he's a great idea. I loved him. He was super fun. He was all about fire magic and took the arcane explosion and the other one to give him free spells so I could really focus on the spells I wanted to pick and fire. Because I didn't down the Tinkerer with the magic Tinkerer one.
Mm-hmm. The magic
And
technician.
yes, magic technician, thank you, and did all about fireballs and stuff like that. And Spaz proceeded to throw a fire demon with fire immunity, and all that fire stuff I built went out the window.
I'd let you and another player charge up a fireball for like a minute and a half.
That was amazing. We did decimate them cultists.
Yeah. But then the demon just laughed at you.
Yep. It was a really fun time though. When it comes to golems, it was actually really hard for me to pick features for him because the golem features are really freaking sick, and I could build so many different concepts off a golem. I think a golem is very widespread. Where like it is a good, it's not really many skills or anything like that. You're not a very skilled person. You're just brought into existence, but whatever you're brought into existence to do when it comes to like combat and all that stuff, you can do very, very well with these characters.
You were made to do something.
Mm-hmm.
And the abilities that you get will definitely let you do that thing. So just like some of my favorite combos are bone primal, right?
Mm-hmm.
So a primal bone with that with my 2 chants, I'm taking instinctive attack and intuiting probably because I'm going to need the help with the skill checks. Instinctive attack gives me that +2 TA to hit. You know, I'm gonna be frontlining, right? So I'm probably gonna go like heavy endurance, minor strength, because I can guarantee giving myself 2 more with instinctive attack. I can kind of focus like living over like doing damage, right? And still like be able to hit realistically, right? With that, I'm definitely taking Frenzy of Life. Um, Probably, I think I would take Bludgeon over Razor, just because Sharp. We can get into what I'm about to say deeper later. More creatures have resist Sharp than they do resist Bludgeoning. So, probably gonna take Bludgeoning and just run in and just smack, smack, smack. Um, After that, probably grab the one that'll give me an invocation. Probably start buffing my defenses as much as I can. Um, with rock hard reinforcement and what was that, hardened form? Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
so that's higher. I probably, because I'm a glutton for punishment and love multi-track casting, grab a level of mage just so that I could have enhanced weapon and mage armor.
Mm-hmm.
Make myself an even better frontliner eventually. I probably don't take multi-matter on this one, or if I do, I'm probably grabbing uh, minor photosynthesis at that point.
Yep.
And then if I grab that, then I'm gonna grab major photosynthesis as well, because it's like, yeah, it'd be a little bit later in the track, right? But you're talking being able to get somewhere between 10 and 15 shield HP whenever I you know recoup. It's just more hit points on the die, right? Like,
Yeah, seriously.
so that's probably how I will build that one. It's really weird because there's nothing in here, and you kind of mentioned it earlier. There's nothing in here that screams we can make a skill monkey,
Mm-hmm.
which I normally talk about how like building a
Yeah,
skill monkey.
be very strong. Um, I think bringing up probably a build if I would do another golem. Talking about the clay face build
Mm-hmm.
is not super far off from it, but a little different. I start obviously with the clay as my form, and we
Right.
go occult. I am taking Drum to the War God as my ritual.
Okay.
Um, I for that to just give me some more get in the front line and not to worry about all those resistances because I'm gonna be dumping all those. I'm building strong into probably strength and endurance, taking uh but either strength or dex depending if I want to take the bludgeon or the razor because I
Mm-hmm.
think they're both. I think razor's really fun flavor wise. I know like you said it's a little less strong, but I want to slice some people up. I like the idea of that. Going down
Right.
rock cord reinforcements, hardened form. I'm building into Juggernaut to gain physical resist to my AR as well, and for when they're not attacking that, my reflex or fortitude and I am taking the transmutable clay. I am getting behind enemy lines. I am popping up into their line, and they are not touching this piece of clay who just popped in the middle of the swarm. And I'm just fighting everybody around me. I have my ritual, so any casters try to stop me, they're not stopping me. I would maybe take multi matter
Mm-hmm.
to add the bone just because I think having that frenzy of life in there is really good. Just having that extra healing
Mm-hmm.
and adding that +2 is strong. But pretty much go into that. Probably, I think it's the fuse list as well for being surrounded and getting extra bonuses for that. And literally, my whole thing is I'm an oozing piece of ooze who's gonna slither my way up pop in, harden his body up, and just start tanking in the middle of the battlefield around enemy lines.
Okay, I thought about how I would build a skill monkey. While we
You
were
made it
talking
work.
about it, I
You
made it
made it
work.
work.
I made it work. Now you do have to grab talents outside of your lineage to get these bonuses as high as possible. But now I'm thinking of that person of like we see Clayface do this from time to time, where
Mm,
he will meld into cracks and stuff and overhear conversations.
yeah.
So I'm thinking someone with high eavesdropping, uh, high sneaking, high savoir faire. So like, yeah, I've got to go other places to find it. But now I'm thinking troubadour, clay, psionic.
Oh my god, like it's almost if the Harley Quinn show, if the animated show that Clayface where he's like the actor and stuff, you're playing that version of Clayface.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
Oh, I love that so much.
Um, like I said, we've gotta look other places to to grab our skill points that we're sadly lacking uh through our through our lineage features because
Yeah, I think it almost makes sense though,
oh
because like
yeah.
it very fits that like these things are usually just made or they're they're made for a purpose. So it's like it would almost be weird to have this. I feel it wouldn't be weird, but if it felt like there were skills in it, it would have to be like a +6 bonus in like one skill, or like the merrymaking from Seder, where it's really just made for like two skills that really can boost those. Because they're really like they're a golem made for a thing, and I really think it shows very well in their
Right.
skills and talents.
I wasn't saying that like it was bad. It's decent game design. Um, because we do have those talents, the specialization talents that we can take for a plethora of skill points as much as we want. We do have
Mm-hmm.
classes like the rogue and the troubadour that will give us even more skill points. I'm probably taking both of those for my skill monkey.
Oh yeah.
As far as like what do I get from like my tree, I'm probably taking transmutable clay, maybe multi matter for minor photosynthesis and major photosynthesis at that point. Probably iron lungs. That way my DM can't be or my MC can't be like they heard you breathing, and I'm just like motherfucker, I don't breathe.
Oh,
Right.
having not having to breathe when it comes up is such a fun thing to be like, well, actually, I don't breathe. You're just like, fuck. There goes this. I just trivialized all this bullshit I had planned.
Yeah. Yeah. So which I'm still gonna be a rather effective character. At that point, I'd probably take Razor because I do have a level in Rogue, and I can use the Scimitar for sneak attacking.
Hmm.
I don't think a club qualifies.
Oh, true. That's very true.
I'm about to look it up because if it does, then I'm about to make a character that
Do you? I had a question actually looking into this a little bit because I had
a
it's
club would qualify.
really that's good to know.
Yeah.
Would inscription of sharpening, do you think that would be effective on your hand if you took that for the ritual for occult?
Yeah, I don't see why not.
Because I think that is be hilarious for that to be your ritual. It's like, what's your ritual that you took? It's like, oh, see this big hand gets a slightly bigger. This is my ritual. This is what I do. And I just with that alone, I think is a very fun thing. Because when they are like a goal and something like that, when you have anything you affect it and stealth wise, I just love the flavor of them. Like, let's say going down if I take the child of darkness, which I think would fit really well in the one you were talking about, It's like, how does that affect this like golem? It's like this clay piece is just like clay on him literally turned into a black color. It's like, this is my ritual. I just think it's so fun the flavor that you can really build into these, or with like the plant matter one, just having them like photosynthesize is such a cute, fun thing. It's like, oh, what are you doing in that recoup as your golem's standing looking at the sun, just his plants slowly glistening. I think I really truly love golems. They are, I think, probably top 3 classes for me in Mythcraft, just
Lineage.
for the flavor lineage. Why do I...
Oh, you're good. You know another one that's really fun for a plant matter golem?
Mm.
Hands of Fire.
Oh my god. Oh my, that is so good. You're literally just your Bulbasaur charging up the plant, taking on the plant beam and making a fire beam out of it.
That's absolutely how I would roleplay it too, right? Like storing the sun's energy into my fists that I can now use to burn other things, right?
So good. When you take multi-matter, you also gain like the original, like obviously about it. So it's so cool that you could take like um
Clay and plant, or bone and clay, or
mm-hmm.
plant and bone.
I think it makes it's such like a there's so many little versatile ways to build golems that like it's because of how they're built.
Now, I do think they make excellent witches, which
Mm-hmm.
is because a lot of their stuff is endurance time per rest,
Yeah.
or like endurance +1, right? So having an endurance caster, even stronger.
And it's really funny because the golem is usually a familiar who then gets a familiar.
That is very funny. But again, like, there's so much you guys could do with golems, and I can't even like describe everything that you guys can do. I see so many fun, flavorful things that people post about that I'm just like in absolute joy.
Yeah, the seeing other people craft in Mythcraft is always I was like, I think I got some pretty fun creative ideas. I'm always like, oh damn, I would have never thought of that shit. It's just it's cool to see how like the system allows creativity to kind of like explode within it, where other systems kind of like you have to limit your creativity or you're flavoring a bunch of shit to make it work. I feel like in Mythcraft, there's like so little I have to flavor other than like how my spell looks. I'm not like having to flavor features or abilities to try to like make them work a certain way. It's always like, oh no, this is there's a way for me to do that in this damn system, and then I just get to flavor it to make it sound cool as fuck. That's what I do for flavor.
Uh-huh. I mean, like, obviously in the podcast there are some things that are flavored, right?
Mm-hmm.
And just a touch of homebrew things. Some things are massively homebrewed. Looking at you, Lession Scythe. Looking at you.
I cannot wait to start really upgrading that thing. I'm so excited.
Yeah, I think it's going to be great. I think that as it gets stronger and we see more of them in use, everyone was losing their mind when you were reading out the abilities of the scythe.
Mm-hmm.
And then you sort of used the anchor's ability once.
I didn't even take the big ability for the scythe yet.
I know.
Oh,
But I'm gonna be honest. I balanced the items against each other, not against anything in Mythcraft. Okay?
Yeah, though they're strong.
But they're strong, you know. With that being said, like, that's the point of like, you don't have to homebrew something for it to be strong, right?
Mm-hmm.
Look at the entire second party. They have nothing that's homebrew on them at all. Everything they have is solid.
I love Smith so much. Smith is like one of the few things where I'm like making kind of a gamey character, because not for nothing. When I was building Smith, I was like, I know this character is either gonna die in this trying to save this person or save the main crew, or he's gonna be getting into some shit when he gets in here. So it's like, I'm gonna build someone who's strong and badass. And I didn't even game super hard. Like I was just like, oh, this is fun. I can do some tweaking here and there. And like Smith is like, I fuck. Smith can do some damage.
Mm-hmm. Full honesty, right? Like, uh, I was not joking when I said the secondary team is all 100% like built by Mythcraft
Yup.
rulebooks. And there's not much of a power difference between the two teams. The biggest power difference is actually in the amount of control that the two different control type casters have. And the fact that they have more support on the original team with Lesh.
Yeah, I
Hey,
definitely
Klaus, how are
said,
you?
oh, what's up, Klaus? I went from full support to full I work for me. Because even my shield HP that Smith uses, he doesn't use that to give other people HP. That's his shield HP. If you're just around, you're lucky enough to get it.
Yeah, yeah. So, kind of bringing this back to Golems just a little bit, right?
A little off topic. Oopsie.
Like they're so fun to just look at and be like, I brought up the arcane source and grabbing Len power and like maybe beam of fire if I needed an offensive ranged ability. Which is all I would use it for. To either grab beam of fire, illuminate, or grave whisper. One of those three. But I would definitely take Len power because Len power I can help everyone that's conjuring spells.
I think Len Power is like so strong. It's crazy.
Yeah, and so few people take it that it makes me sad.
It's it's gonna be in Lesh's fucking repertoire. Even though we don't have too many conjuring stuff yet, I know with Larissa coming around and just our group, like that is gonna be in Lesh's future.
I mean, okay, so here's the thing though. If you had that already, it's came out a few times where Adam's like, I don't really want to spend a turn conjuring this.
Yeah.
Right? So like you probably would have used some of the other conjuring based spells to really push out the
True. That is very true. I think once Les, I mean, we have to. Oh, we're gonna keep going off topic. We keep talking about it. I'm gonna keep doing it. I don't mean to.
rewind. We're talking about golems. Okay. So like and then just divine chance. Keep standing for free is just really good.
Mm-hmm.
You know? I don't know how you're gonna beat that with a divine. I guess you could also buff your skills with that as well, because they have their, I think it's guide.
We should do the next campaign. Oops, all golems, and then just have two people be the Healy golem, two people be the fighty golems, and then just always be giving the extra healing and frenzy bonus, and just keep standing constantly so none of us could die. We all have to keep standing. We all gain +3 HP from it and do +2 damage, and we just stand in a circle and none of us will go down, and we slowly march through enemy lines.
I mean, that sounds awesome. That also sounds like something I would absolutely wreck shit.
Oh God.
You know what I'm saying, right? Like, you have experienced it yourself. If it's an all melee party, I will fuck you up badly.
Oh, yeah.
And that's not even like super intentional. It's just the way it kind of the game is the way it is kind of balanced is if you guys go all if you guys go absolutely all melee fighters, I drop one or two ranged enemies that can shoot and move, I'm gonna have a good one. I drop
Yeah.
one or two enemies that detonates on death, I'm gonna have a good one.
Fuck Gretchlings.
Oh, Gretchlings are cute and adorable, and I need a plush of a Gretchling.
I
Anyway,
want one so bad, bro. Oh my god, I would just.
yeah.
I truly just think I discovered an evil plan though for my home universe who for an evil golem armies who just sends out golems who one of their reactions is when they see a golem drop to 0 health they can cast a spell to make them pop back up and give all the golems that reaction and just send mini hordes of that at my players.
Start with one and see what. Start with two and see what happens.
Oh shit.
All right. However, I do think that's going to be all the time that we have for today. I know that you have a prior arrangement that you got to head off to soon.
Yes, it is the holidays and I'm quite a busy boy.
Well, thank you for making time for chatting about golems with me.
I would always love to make time about chatting about Mythcraft with you, Spaz. You know that. It's one of my favorite things to do.
Sometimes I think that if people were to see our DMs, they would be truly concerned because almost none of it makes any sense at all.
No context. Even with context, I feel like our DMs are quite just MC rambling back to each other.
Oh, a lot of it is. A lot of it really is. Um, for those of you that have joined us on stream today, thank you all for joining us. I am so proud to see everyone here today.
Yeah.
But
My
also, like, if you're watching this in the future, check out our dice sponsor, Baron of Dice. We do have a link in the description of the video. Check them out.
great freaking high quality dice. You can make customs, real yeah, they're real cool. I can't wait. I'm ordering my first set here quite soon because now that Christmas is over, I can buy myself stuff again.
That is very true. Christmas is over. We can buy everyone shit. But
But I think we both getting ready. I think that is everything that we have for you guys today.
if you want to check out how golems work in our games, or at least in my games that I allow Kobe to exist in, check out our actual play podcast, Tales of Evard. Anywhere that it should now be anywhere that you get your podcasts.
Everywhere, baby, all the platforms,
It
and
should be.
make sure to let us know what topics you would like us to cover in the next time in the comments below, as we've been kind of bouncing around the lineages and stuff. So yeah, leave a comment. We might be able to cover in the next episode because we always try to read them before we start the next episode and see if there's any interest in something before we do ours.
All right, guys. Thank you for watching.
Have a good one.